Hello and welcome everybody to match 3, or better said week 3 of the Spellforce 3 tournament scene, Team League. We have Dwarf Heretic in the southeastern corner with the blue humans, which is going to be confusing, since he is not a dwarf after all. Coming in with the Wolf Guard, as well as Mr.Freaking with the dwarves on the other hand, which is absolutely not being confusing. Gonna be confusing at all, with the dwarves in the green top left corner. Excuse me. No deviation and no early charburner for Mr. Freaking here. That is interesting. Let me just get it right on which teams these boys are. So we have Team Freakhouse versus Team Ru community, which I assume is going to be Russian community. So on Team Freakhouse we have Mr. Freaking himself, the dwarf you can see in this game, Saturas, Quadro X, and Valdemar. And on Team Ru community, today represented by Dwarf Heretic, we have Heretic, Tommy Gun, Frizz Forever, Chillerview, and for the win, Zartes. Let's see what awaits us in this game. That should be quite a spectacle, hopefully. It is on a new patch. Keep in mind, apparently there's a bug that wardens, so basically for elf player, the wardens do zero building damage at the moment, which isn't applicable in this game. But we see some nice scout use here, even though he just got ran to the wall there by Dwarf Heretic. And good evening to everybody in chat. I hope I can entertain you tonight. Very classic opener. Early hunting cabin. Do we have double hunting cabin? Well, it is double hunting cabin now. So we might see a low hostile approach of lots of footies. Axwilder doing his little best against this Zombo here. Keep in mind, this is one of the maps where level 5 can be tricky to obtain. So, Mr. Freaking here has his work cut out for him to get that going. Otherwise, I would consider humans probably the more adaptive faction. Without that level 5 spike, don't get me wrong, our lady, the Wolf Guard, still very strong on level 5 herself, but not quite as... Well, they're both mediocre heroes before 5, let's put it that way. But they can do some fancy stuff. But let's see how this plays out. So apparently we already have one stonecutter down, so that scout's getting some work done, which is nice. Every little bit helps, even though it's gonna take some time to get that going. And indeed we see some footies coming out. There goes second Axe Wielder, as well as the Moley are gonna deal with the scout, who's a little bit late on the party to trot away, so he's gonna go down. Fortunately, at this point you kinda need to just focus on another worker to get some value. You're not gonna get that Axe Wielder one-on-one. But he got a little bit of value out of it, so that's not too bad. Has not been scouted yet, so can get away with the infantry for now. So the question is, will we see a third hunting cabin into double barracks? I think that's how the build goes for the full footy opener. We shall see, we shall see. I probably should, before we cast the next game, turn the graphics slightly back up again, because especially the human town center looks a bit rubbish. Maybe we can get away with it. We did it for the FPS, but is it worth it? I do not know. Right, since we have a little bit of game time under our belt, let's check the builds. Triple deep water, double replenishing strikes into the traditional Shadow Strike and Whirlwind.
Expanded our borders.
Pretty standard stuff, and pretty standard stuff on the other side as well. All 3 left side abilities, and some brute force. No cooldown or deep waters, but we also still have 2 points to spend here. We have a hashtag no equip. We've got some fire bombs as well as Nidhoff Fury, the tier 3 thingamajig. Okay, doesn't go for the blitz here to try and deny that. So was just happy to get the Zombos there. And hello to you as well, Mr. Nakamura. Good to have you, good to have you. Let's see. Okay, we see the barracks coming up here. The stone cutters, so it doesn't seem to be like full committal to the what's it called? Footman build. So it's more of a standard opener. Also, I think we only are on 1 footy here. Indeed we are. Well, two by now. Ooh, that harass is not going well for Dwarf here. Freaking just doesn't really care. Looks like he still hasn't got it equipped, so... Oh no! Dwarf Heretic goes down here. Now that's a pretty damn big issue. He got the Mole Rider, but that's not worth trading a hero out there. It's gonna be a bit awkward. Looks like the infantryman. Yeah, that's the first one, so at least hasn't lost the infantryman. But this scouting post might be in trouble without some hero support. Double barracks are coming up. Can he do much with it? Not that much. He is not floating any food, so needs more income in that regard. But I don't think we have seen any attempt on the Medusas yet, which at 5.5 minutes you usually see them, unless there's early arrest going on. Thanks to the low level, Wolfguard comes back relatively quickly. Having a bit of an awkward dance off here. But if Freaking can get all of these Medusas, there we go. There we go. Footprints are coming out now to contest. That's a pretty decent amount. Let's quickly check. We're only producing from the main here. So Freaking. This is confusing. Heretic. There we go. Does have an opportunity to outproduce his opponent here. Level 4 for our girl there. Did get 1.5 of those Medusas. Some Arbalesters added on top. But looks like we see some unnecessary losses there. Dwarfs come back in. We don't have our split shot activated at the moment. So no extra side damage for her. Also the crossbow still hasn't been equipped. But there we go. Now we see some split shots. Nice cleanup of the dwarves though. So focuses the axe wielder with his hero. So keeps that amount in check. Oh, nice attempt there. But it's always a bit of a annoying combo on moving targets. And she should be able to pick off at least 2 of those. Oh, that was quite amazing that they didn't die. Yeah. 3 HP in 23. Orders? We have 6 and 9 in terms of infantrymen and arbalesters, and only 4 axe wielders. Double stoneholds seem to be up. Oh, we are pretty hefty on the floating here. Mr.Freaking very low there. Very loaded, I should say, not low. Some infantrymen going down on top of things. Town Hall, I think, is the Tier 1. Town Center as well, so no quick Tier 2 rushes at the moment. Everybody just happy to trade off their infantry for the moment. Looks like we forgot our boys there in the back for a little bit. And he keeps not pulling back any kind of infantry, so he just ends up losing them one by one. Well, true for both sides. So there is some improvement to be done here. But at the moment our humans are definitely outproducing, which is a rare sight to see. We do have some units queued up. Still lots of stuff in the bank. Also a couple of unemployed dwarfs there. Economy could look a bit better. But yeah, since we suspected that, there has been no... I think we're still only on the double hunting. Oh, there we go. 3rd hunting coming up. 4th hunting. Okay, he's sorting it out. So he's got a pretty decent economy going on here. Mr. Dwarf Heretic is level 4, almost level 5. So these should push him over the edge. That's going to be very nice for him. And especially against a dwarf. That is quite the advantage to have, since your front line can't be nuked by the barrage. I don't think he's went and spent his gold yet. Nope, full bank. Looks like Freaking... No, I don't think he spent extra gold. He just hasn't had the opportunity since he was at the shops. Still needs to equip it. Definitely a hashtag no equip there. Sharp burners being placed very far away from the tree line, which is interesting. That's gonna result in some slow stuff there. Oh no, the Hierophant is getting completely nuked. There was no attack move there, just two armies walking at each other. And Heretic managed to spot it first. And classically right-clicked his opponent. Since she was already pretty low. Looks like level 2 Whirlwind actually picked up. On top of Earth Shadow, that's interesting.
We're under attack.
It's not bad, but I don't know. I never quite know if it's worth picking it up. I'm not quite sure if it increases even the base damage. But it's looking pretty grim for the dwarves. Also, he keeps forgetting to produce, which is like a nice mistake I always make. Lots of stuff in the bank, and then once my queue runs out, I forget to queue up new stuff. Frontier Outpost is getting some value here, but it's just too much at this point. Our girl is back in action, still hasn't equipped her crossbow. Gets right-clicked again. Cancelled his Earth Shatter. Meanwhile, some stuff going down to the main there. Well, the outpost. Does do magic damage, so pretty damn good against all of these T1 units. Oh no, she came too far forward again. Was forgotten about going down. Bit unfortunate there.
We're under attack.
At the moment he just seems indecisive. Okay, he's looking for more sentries. There he goes, another stone hole. A little bit too late there. Ooh, retaliation. Very early pick. Usually you pick that later once you pick up the appropriate ultimate, the right side ultimate. So you kind of time it to get these bows because for the damage aura it's not worth it. It's literally a 1% tick of damage every time you're hit. That's basically nothing. If it was like 2 seconds duration or something, we might be able to talk about it. But a 1% thorn isn't really worth it. But the ultimate gives you pure damage on all surrounding units. Close to our hero here. No micro, so a lot of tier 1 is dying here. But the frontier outpost will go down eventually. There we go.
We're being attacked.
A lot of arbalesters now, so they don't care much about the pierce resistance here since we have critical mass. I think he's at the threshold where activating an aura blocks him from shadow striking into an earth shatter. Probably too much focus. But we have no armor on her, so she just gets nuked by 17 arbalests. We're up to 4 barracks now. We're not tier 2, which you can see in the building menu down here. Mr.Freaking is tier 2, but he hasn't been able to do much with it. Does not control the map. So we'll see how long he can take it. Or if he finds a way out of the situation, which would be quite surprising. At this point he's so far behind. Oops. That I don't really see a way out of him for that.
Just give the word.
Especially if tier 2 of dwarves isn't that impactful. So it's actually not helping him out that much. To have that early tech. But I said it takes a while to get going. And if you're behind,
Our workers are
it's
under
not
attack.
really what you can do. And then we're losing all the production buildings here. Poor boy. So there isn't really much I can talk nice about this.
We're under attack.
Just a bit heartbreaking for Freaking. But he'll get there. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit until we see some substantial movements again. Because at the moment we're just rallying forwards. I think that's excusable. Is there a hotkey for this? Maybe. A little bit of an attempt here, but he just doesn't have to, like, any kind of mass. He also still has a no equip. That you can see, like the tier 3 crossbow would be like glowing in bits. Looks like it's made out of molten lava a bit. And surprising that he just hunts that down. I mean, he can, but he doesn't have to. If he just pumps footmen now, he can just end it.
Completed.
Also, he has 10,000 gold to spend. Oh god. This takes him on a ring around the rosies. Buy himself some time. Observation tower's coming up to delay the inevitable at this point. So unfortunately we can't play the Benny Hill music, but you can imagine it. Just running around for the heart's content. Observation tower's gonna be upgraded. How much is the difference? That's a good question. So at 2,500. I think the damage increase is quite substantial. So towers in this game are not bad. But, yeah.
Building completed.
Yeah, we've got some drill halls at support garrisons. Probably gonna see some catapults. No, actually he's gonna see keepers first. So Heretic not seeing the writing on the wall here. That he could just end it with a couple catapults. Or maybe he's getting them, and he had so much iron that he can afford everything. Just scares away the boys here. That's some classic Arbalest siege, which isn't that powerful. Especially under double watchtower. You might actually throw away his advantage here, which would be very impressive. Because remember, outposts are pretty good at repairing now, for most races. Especially on the higher tiers, which this one is. There we go, finally an Earthshatter coming in. But the no equip really biting him at the moment. It's a lot of wasted damage that could go into these units.
Building completed.
Probably shaves off at least one attack on the tier 1 units. Maybe even 2, I would wager. Considering they have negative magic damage. So I think it goes up to 185 as opposed to 120. So it's almost an increased 100 in damage. Might actually be more, considering the minus resistance. Someone with more math in their brain can work that out.
What can I do you for?
I don't think, yeah, we don't have any other research. We're just trying to get something out. You guys have a lot of resources. Yeah, but if you're part of the gameplay, by the way, wait with your comments until the after the match, please.
We're under attack.
So you don't spoilerino us.
Yes.
I mean, this game there's not much to spoiler other than that it's gonna take some time. Unless he like just gets his catapult sniped now. Okay, Beacon of Immortality did come in. But he put it on the pure damage, on the melee boys, which isn't why you get it. You get it to put that on the Arbalesters so they ignore the siege damage. So that's an example of a build copied, but not exactly knowing why you would play that way. It's still gonna make the infantryman and keeper better at killing the building.
Did you say
But
something?
the value would be a lot bigger if it was targeted at the Arbalesters. So that's a hint for the future there, if you want to play that style. We lost a lot of units here.
I'm at your command.
Might actually be... Okay, it's not quite caught up in PopCap, but we are finally producing for our Dwarf player here. And the observation towers, yeah, weren't pressured at all, so they were free firing. Got some nice... I lost my train of thought there. Anyway, level 7 for the Wolf God, by the way. Still a hashtag no equip. Oh, it feels bad. But keepers do looking pretty dapper there with their spiky maces. Let's get into the business here. Don't even think we've seen the fire pump used. Damn, those catapults have perfectly spherical stone balls. That is quite impressive. That awkward moment when you employ a mason to make the perfect ammunition for your catapults. Oh! Our girl's going down again. Actually, two girls fighting each other. So that's not really conclusive of what I'm telling you here. There we go. Catapults now in the mix. They should be focused on the fortified outpost. Looks like everything's microed together. Ah, there we go. Finally pulled them aside. So he's just gonna hunt the rest of the army with those boys. Yeah, triple catapult now. That's not gonna get out repaired. But if you can get rid of the catapults. So nice kiting there inside tower range. And the catapults are being used together with the army, which gives the outpost a little bit more time. But ooh, another brutal earth shatter there. About to delete the entire army again. Hey, finally something dying to siege there. Level 8! For your girl, the Wolf Guard. Has not been using the beacon much more. Going up the observation tower, but there we go, this goes down now. Rendering the sector inoperable. And I'm pretty sure the Dwarf army is pretty much gonzo.
Yes?
4 catapults, 15 arbalesters, 2 keepers. What else do you need? There we go. Looks like we're pushing in for the end. Peasants are polishing at the 10%. Indeed. Oh, even the upgrade coming in. It's a pretty nice one. Can't remember how much damage it does, but any AoE burning damage is pretty damn good. Especially against tier 1. Since they tend to blob up quite a lot. There you go. Just needs to park the catapults on the capital. Keep the army away from the catapults. Easy job.
Our capital is under attack.
It is indeed. Still a no equip. Oh, that's bad. Also, how much money do we have for Heretic by now? 13,000 casual monies. Still 9 health potions in the bank, so pretty clean game by him. Just could have closed it out easier. Just didn't recognize how far ahead he was. Especially after getting both Medusa camps and getting the level 5 yourself off of them. You basically know that your enemy is not level 5. And that gives you just such a huge advantage in this matchup. And there we go. GG. Well played. To Dwarf Heretic. Which gives Rumpty Pumpty the Russian communities the lead. With a 1-0. Where did I put them? On the right, didn't I? There we go. I still need to use that tool Naka sent me. But I keep forgetting to set it up. There we go. Unit skill 109. Pretty basic stuff. But yeah, Mr.Freaking just neglecting the... Despite the early hero throw by Heretic, which was quite surprising. Freaking basically needed to go after the Medusas. Clear them out, get his level 5. And also keep producing. There were a lot of gaps in production. Which reminds me of myself. But there we have it. Game 1 of this round is complete. And I'll see you in the next game. Bye bye.